What's going on, guys? It's Chad. Back here over on some more Call of Duty. I need to get refamiliarized since we're going to be having the beta at the end of this month. I don't want to have a full-blown Souls brain by the time I get there. So I just finished out the Gilded Camo challenge right here. Now I do the Silver, and then the Priceless, then Interstellar. That'll be done. Then after that, I only have one more LMG, I think. Or maybe the Eradicator counts as well. I can't remember. I'll figure it out. I have like a whole list, but I can't look at it while I'm recording. Real quick, I want to thank everybody for all the love and support on all the videos that I was doing before this. Got a lot of support. A lot of people telling me, you know, don't give up and all this other shit. I didn't give up. I'm tired, man. I'm loving all these new extra maps that they put in here with all the variants and stuff. It just makes it more likely to actually get a good map. Nothing is worse than playing the only playlist available that has some maps that you want to play in it, but you just keep rolling the maps that you absolutely hate. To be fair, I'm not a giant fan of Rust. I'm really not. So the age-old conversation comes back yet again. A never-ending war of ideologies and philosophies. Apex Legends ended up nerfing the overall aim assist on controllers for PC specifically. I think it's specific to PC, but I could be wrong. But in general, it is an aim assist nerf. It's apparently a 25% aim assist nerf. I don't know exactly what that translates to overall, like what the difference in feel is. And obviously Apex Legends aim assist is going to be different from Call of Duty aim assist as well. Apex Legends is also a much different game than Call of Duty is overall in terms of just like HP and movement and everything. Generally speaking, I feel like Apex Legends should have a stronger aim assist than a game like Call of Duty, where you're able to kill people very, very quickly without very many shots at all. Whereas in Apex, people can absorb a lot of shots. They got a million different ways to be able to get away and disappear and all this other shit. So in a game like Apex, aim assist makes a lot of sense to me. But that said, it can still obviously be overtuned and just not fun to deal with. So now because Apex ended up making that change, which it seems like a lot of people are pretty happy about it overall, I'd imagine the community would be pretty happy about it, other than, you know, controller players in general. Obviously, controller players are going to be upset about it or what. Biggest silver lining about the aim assist nerfs and stuff, if they ever were to happen in Call of Duty as well, it's easy for a lot of people to distance themselves and be like, oh, well, it doesn't matter, it's not happening on Call of Duty, so whatever, without like considering the effects overall of like whether that was actually successful or not and making people feel like it's more fair or whatever. Does it help the longevity of the game? Does it cause people to quit? Does it cause people to play more? Dude, there's no way this guy has been sitting here this entire time. What the fuck is going on? Die, you don't know if aim assist is so utterly overpowered that like that is making people not play the game. Obviously, a lot of people will cite the fact that aim assist is powerful, and if they're usually a mouse and keyboard player anyway, they'll go and say, oh, I don't play that game because of aim assist and stuff like that. But again, how many players did Call of Duty actually lose in the process of the aim assist being as powerful as it is? Did they lose enough players for it to even matter to them? And the likely answer is no. A similar way that they ended up releasing that whole spreadsheet and explanation about SBMM and how it does benefit them overall. It benefits them. It doesn't necessarily benefit the players the way that I pretty much interpreted it when I read the whole thing out. Got a whole bunch of graphs, and yeah, they showed really, really well of like what they do, how they do it, why they do it, but to me, it still doesn't justify them doing it. Again, there's a silver lining here. If you're a good controller player, an aim assist nerf will actually help you overall. An aim assist nerf won't be the end of the world. If anything, it will actually help you overall against the majority of the player base, which is controller. I noticed it immediately over in games like X Defiant, for example. And again, I know that X Defiant isn't as big as Call of Duty. Nobody thought it was going to be as big as Call of Duty or anything like that. But X Defiant itself, regardless of however you feel about the game, it takes a look into the world of the no skill based matchmaking plus the weaker aim assist. Also more customizable aim assist options in there. You can turn the rotational aim assist strength up and down, the follow speed, all that stuff. You can make a lot of adjustments. I noticed with a game with weaker aim assist is that your movement becomes more effective because aim assist is so, you know, powerful generally. That movement kind of gets completely washed unless the person is running around with like a 3 sensitivity or something and they simply can't turn around and they're getting cameraed by everybody. I don't think people would stop until controller is completely eradicated. Overall, I feel like even if they did a 25% nerf, if they did it with Call of Duty, I think they would argue that it's still too powerful. Without going too deep into that whole aim assist thing anyway, I mean, they'll probably just keep it the way that it has been the entire time. They won't see any massive benefit from nerfing aim assist overall, so they just won't do it. In the end, you'll see it there with the skill-based matchmaking as well. They will always prioritize the absolute majority, even if it does have its issues. There's no perfect solution. Anyway, there's been a ton of like zombies leaks and other shit that people are doing, and people are thinking that some zombies creators are getting kidnapped and other shit. Some people were taking this shit so seriously at the start, like they genuinely believe that somehow somebody's getting captured sponsored for like uncovering some secret. It was a pretty obvious collab from the start, you know what I mean? Just another marketing thing with the zombies and stuff. Treyarch has always done insane things with the marketing with zombie shit. Given I never really get deep into it or anything, but people love it. It generates a ton of hype. I don't understand anything that's going on whatsoever. And to be fair, I don't think half of the people that are getting involved with it do either, but it's fun. I appreciate the fact that Treyarch, you know, puts so much effort into those kinds of things. It's a thing that's very unique to them. I'm gonna be playing zombies. Just because I'm playing zombies doesn't mean that I understand zombies, right? They also recently added the 50 cal conversion kit. I know that MW3 had this reputation for being considered DLC overall. We knew that it was basically an expansion. Outside of the mechanics of the game, the things that make that whole thing most obvious is the campaign. The campaign was so very obviously rushed and not really its own full-fledged thing. They added the Barrett 50 cal conversion kit, and some people were talking about the number of weapons and stuff that the game added, which I didn't think was a bad number of weapons. I think it was like 30 something overall, if I'm remembering correctly anyway. But then there's also the conversion kits. People are not mentioning that the conversion kits themselves are basically making entirely new weapons. Some of them, you know, more dramatic than others. While some seem like heavy modifications, other ones will seem like entirely new weapons. I'd argue that Modern Warfare 3 has some of the most expansive weapon additions I have ever seen to a game. With that said, also, this isn't just a thing to brag about the overall numbers of weapons in the game. This also kept the game fresh in the process because it made it feel like every single week, whenever we got a brand new kit, it made it feel like we got a brand new weapon. And whenever you would see it like ahead of time over on the list, you would know that once that week comes, you can go and immediately unlock it, and you have something new to actually play with. Now, the other weeks where they're giving you just like random sites and things like that is just, yeah, pretty boring. But these challenges right here, these weekly challenges, which I haven't done in a really long time, to be honest with you, they got the blunderbuss right here. I'm one challenge off of unlocking the 50 cal conversion kit. I feel like overall, I don't know if Treyarch is gonna do this or whatever, but I feel like it is very important for the freshness of Black Ops 6. I think having these conversion kits and stuff is very, very important. I think that they should have this whole kind of system in there to keep people on the game more often and come back for a new thing every single week. Whenever I see people talking about what Modern Warfare 3 has done right, I haven't seen enough people talk about how important and how impactful that whole system has been. I feel like Black Ops 6, or basically every single Call of Duty from this point forward, should have something like that. Now, I know that a brand new weapon overall is supposed to be like a new season thing, so you can't add like wholly brand new weapons every single week or something, but the conversion kits themselves absolutely make it feel like there are brand new weapons being added into the game every week. So if anybody from Treyarch is listening and you guys haven't implemented that kind of system yet, well, I mean, that sucks. I don't know what to say. But again, very usual thing with Call of Duty, because we have 3 different, you know, teams and stuff like that, or more than 3 teams at this point, working on all of their games and balances and their whole design philosophy and all that shit, we end up losing good things that were in past games. They don't always all transfer over. But surely they must have seen a positive impact for all of these weekly challenges with all the kits and stuff. Videos on YouTube, people are happy and excited about those new things whenever they come into the game. Warzone and multiplayer, it affects them both because the conversion kit is obviously available in both. I see no downside to adding those kits into the game other than like maybe balance problems and stuff, but again, if one of them ends up being too insane, you know, they can nerf it a few days later and we're good. Some weapons end up being so broken that aren't even like brand new kits, just some sort of bug that comes out, end up fixing them within, you know, 24 hours. So I feel like there's a huge net positive to having this kind of system in the game. Now, I don't really care overall about the camo or whatever, but again, whether the camo is ugly or not, having something to work towards every single week for 8 weeks straight, however long the usual season is, this is super important to the game. It's super important to keeping the game fresh. I think one of the things that Treyarch does really well with keeping things, quote, fresh, in terms of people making content and other things like that anyway, Treyarch always has better store bundles. These, however, are not store bundles at all. You can just unlock them for free. They're right there. Obviously, the overall camo itself is time gated by the, you know, week system or whatever, but the challenges themselves, you can go and unlock this thing day 1 immediately within a game, 2 games, and boom, you got a brand new weapon to play with for the next week until inevitably another brand new kit comes out, which makes yet again another brand new feeling weapon. It's so good, and I genuinely hope that Treyarch implemented that into their next game.